everybody, this is Leticia coming to you this Thursday for another edition of my weekly Money Matters webinars. And as announced a bit earlier today, today's topic is another one that's crypto related, and it is creating generational wealth with crypto. And I know that sounds like a big promise. Today's guest, Barnabas, is somebody I had the pleasure of meeting, Playa del Carmen, through the Freedom Community. And those of you who are in the freedom movement, I think would very much enjoy Barnabas's YouTube channel, popular YouTube channel, and at the same time, shadow banned YouTube channel, which we posted in the description to this live stream. Anyway, we're here today to talk about the crypto world, and our guest Barnabas is very passionate about financial freedom as well and empowering others in this realm. And in particular in regards to cryptocurrencies. So without further ado, thank you so much for joining us today. Welcome to the show.
Welcome.
My pleasure. Thank you. So tell us a little bit about, first of all, what do we even mean about generational wealth? What do we mean by that? And why do you feel the crypto world is something that can help people achieve that?
Okay. Yeah, so generational wealth is something that you can achieve for your lifetime, and it would last until probably the end of your life. So you would have that as a backup for if you don't want to work, perhaps for other generations as well. And why crypto? It's basically I looked into different options. I used the stock market as well. I tested. I was successful with it, but based on my research, there is no such an investment as crypto where you can have 100 times or 1,000 times of your money's return. So that's quite much of a gain. So let's say if you just think about $10,000 you put in, and one of the coins go 100x, then you have $1 million.
Yeah, I hear you. So there's the option, there's the possibility of literally what we could call exponential growth.
Exactly.
On somebody's money. Now I'm gonna ask you a challenging question. Some people obviously feel that could be speculative. And that's in fact the reason many people so far have stayed away from the crypto realm, because they feel, oh, it's all speculation. That's just speculation, right? So how would you, that's just speculation. I don't trust this. How do I know that's not just speculation? So what would you say to that, Barnabas, as somebody who's an active investor in the space and who's actually also helping guide others in the space?
Okay, so any kind of investment has to have some kind of speculation in it. You never know the future. Future is unknown, and we just look into research or potential, whether it's real estate, gold, silver, whatever it is. You never know what the future is going to hold. So so there has to be speculation in that for sure. That's one side of the story. The other side of the story is that there are very tangible cryptocurrency projects that solve problems in the real world that people already adopted. Big companies like Google, Microsoft, and others are already using some of the crypto projects. And that means it's not just a speculation, because these companies are already using it. They're putting loads of money into these projects. So they are not going to pull out that money, right? And many of the projects that I am investing in, they are announcing new companies that are investing in their or partnerships every week. So you can see the trend where it's headed, and so I don't see it as a speculation. It's more like a research-based decision for me.
Got it. Thank you for sharing that. And you know what? I think that a lot of people don't even know that there are already real world applications to some of the cryptocurrencies out there. And you know what? From our earlier private conversation, Barnabas, you mentioned to me that you're actually not a fan of Bitcoin, and that you're actually, your play space is more what we would call the altcoin space, which has come to be known as anything that's not Bitcoin is considered an alternative coin or altcoin. Would you mind sharing with us why that is? And and I want to allow, and I'll say that is maybe a contrarian opinion view, even in the crypto space. Most people say, oh, definitely Bitcoin, Ethereum, yet you prefer to play in and invest in the what we call the altcoin space. Would you mind sharing why that is and what the reasoning is behind that?
Yeah, sure. First of all, Bitcoin is the main coin that was created first in 2009. The second one was Ethereum, and anything else is usually called alternative coins or altcoins for short. So it's not just Bitcoin; it's usually together with Ethereum.
Okay.
But the thing is, the altcoins are having so much more potential than the Bitcoin that for me, it's a no-brainer. Okay.
Interesting.
Bitcoin is so much overvalued. It's about 52,000 US dollars for one Bitcoin, and it's just the price is so high, too high for the value proposition that Bitcoin does. So when I research,
That's your view. That's
yes,
your view of it. Yeah.
yeah. So when I research a coin, I look at the team behind it. What actual use case does it have? What does it solve in real life? Whether it's the adoption, and a couple of other things like technical analysis, looking at the charts and white papers. Now with Bitcoin, its adoption is high, so lots of people use it. The adoption is very high, but the use case is very, very low compared to other altcoins. So for instance, if you think about Bitcoin as money, it's very, very slow. You have to wait sometimes hours to receive Bitcoin or send Bitcoin. The fees are very high for transactions, which is again not a good use case for money. And the only thing that I can imagine using Bitcoin for is just the storage of value.
Right. I was going to ask you that. Like, it seems a lot of people are almost seeing Bitcoin as digital gold, as a store of value, and of course, as an alternative to the fiat currencies that a lot of people are currently concerned about because of all the money printing that's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
But beyond being a store of value, it sounds like the projects or the coins that you choose to invest in, you want some other real life applications, or also known as use cases.
Yes.
Right. Yes. So thanks for sharing that. So tell us, please, what would if you don't mind sharing, what would be some of the projects that you consider promising, some of the coins that you've personally invested in? And again, we're all sovereign beings. We all have choice in terms of where we put our money. I'm here just to share, to allow your perspective to be heard, because you're on the leading edge. There are a lot of people that haven't even gotten started in this space. So I want to make room for this perspective.
Yeah. So first of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm more of a technical support person. So anything I say is just my financial opinion, not an advice.
Fair enough. Yep.
But back to what you said about Bitcoin, or what you talked about Bitcoin being storage of value. If I wanted to have storage of value for my money, I would rather go for gold or silver. These are more traditional investment options that have been proven to be very reliable. So I wouldn't store my money in Bitcoin just because it's crypto. That's my personal view on this. For me, investment means I want to multiply my money. And back to generational wealth, I'm looking at altcoins that have the potential to go 100x or even more. I would like to talk about two projects that I personally invested in, and there are haters and lovers for both, but these two coins are almost doing the same thing. So one is XRP and the other one is XLM, Stellar Lumens. And actually,
what's the second one? I've heard about XRP. What was the other one?
XLM.
Excellent.
XLM.
XLM. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stellar Lumens. And basically, XRP was the first, and later on, one of the co-founder of XRP branched out and created XLM, Stellar Lumens. So they share the same co-founder, and the Stellar Lumens co-founder still have XRP, as far as I know. So it's kind of like done by the same people. Now, XRP went into more the banking sector, and they targeted those larger corporations. And XLM went for the route of the smaller people, or more like the everyday usage. But basically, both of them are designed for money, as digital money. And I tested both of them. I researched both of them. They are very quick, so you receive XRP or XLM within 2 seconds. The fees are very low. And if you look into the white papers, it's designed for money, because many of the projects are not designed for it. Like Bitcoin was not designed for money. And so that's why these two coins have a very big potential to go high in value, because they can be bought like now very, very cheap. But the use case is very potential, and there are already lots of big partners. Like for instance, XRP, they partner with lots of banks already, including Santander. They are with money bookers as well, and other companies. I don't know on top of my head, but XRP is full of partners if you look into their website. So
in other words, so they have like wide appeal in the banking sector in particular.
Yes.
One of my friends who's also been a guest on the show, Jerry, he also likes XRP, and he sees it, and he's been somebody who's done a lot of research into this, and he says that essentially XRP would replace the SWIFT transaction system. So right now, if you want to send money internationally, all the banks use the SWIFT network, which is quite slow. It's not instant, and it's expensive, and I think there are like high fees associated with it. So all these financial institutions have been looking into ways of doing things faster, and XRP is the solution, or at least one of the solutions, right?
Exactly. It's designed for digital money, and especially for international transfers. So it solves that solution beautifully.
Okay, and how does XLM? Sorry, I couldn't get how you pronounce that. Stellar Lumen?
Or? Stellar Lumens, yes.
Okay, Stellar Lumen.
Lumens. Mm-hmm.
Okay. How does this one differ from XRP, or what's the difference between the two?
So basically XRP, they are very similar. Okay, I'm not a programmer. I don't go into the code, so I can't tell you, what's the exact technical difference between the two. But I can tell you how they market themselves and what the adoption is. So adoption is for XRP is really about the banks, and they go for financial institutions. They are talking to the Congress. They are talking to big institutions, governments, and so there is a company, a for-profit company behind XRP. It's called Ripple, and they have other products that they sell for a profit. Now, XRP is an open source project that is not for profit, and that is what they use for their other projects as well. But they created Ripple created XRP. So they really go for the corporate use case, whereas Stellar Lumens goes for the regular people, and that's where it start. That's where they find the use case. So I think these two coins have a little bit different, a little difference, but their adoption is different.
Okay. Okay, but when you say for the regular people, so I understand. So XRP primarily has been targeting corporate users, and they've forged partnerships with banks, financial institutions, and Stellar
That's right.
Lumens is this sort of like a sister project to XRP? You said it was like a branch off of XRP, and now. What kind of applications? Because I know you're a big believer in the use case behind something. Um, would you know of like a particular application of Stellar Lumens like in the real world? Could you give us
So
an
for instance, I'm using an encrypted group chat application, which is called Keybase, and they are using Stellar Lumens as their base currency. So you can send Stellar Lumens to each other, and it's brilliant. They also had like an airdrop around a year ago, which means they gave away free Stellar Lumens to their users. And so yeah, just give me a second. I have to close the door, and I'll be back.
Sorry, guys. The joys of working from home.
Sorry about that. Neighbors arrived and they are with the dog.
No worries. No worries. Okay, yeah, thanks for sharing that. So other than these two projects, are there other projects that you like and that you find promising?
Yes, I mean there are many other projects. I wouldn't want to go into details because that's part of what I can offer people helping with.
Okay.
But these are the two projects that I like to talk about because they are really easy to grasp and understand. And the others are also, but I just wouldn't want to go into too much details. But XRP and XLM is really for the money, and the other projects that I'm investing in are rather for other use cases.
Use cases. Okay, interesting. Because you're seeing XRP and XLM as literally like the closest thing to money.
Yes.
Well, let's talk about how do you feel about the not so secret plans that that central banks are planning or have already introduced what we could call central bank controlled digital currencies.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, yeah, this is definitely planned. I mean, I've seen videos where Congress is talking about the digital USD and similar things. So that's definitely coming. And actually in their papers, I found XRP mentioned. So I think they're going to use that.
Wow, interesting. So you actually feel so XRP could possibly XRP become sort of like the international coin of choice?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow, very interesting. But then would there still be a need? Because it seems like Japan, if I'm not mistaken, they just announced like their own digital currency. Was it Japan or was it China?
I think it was China, the digital yuan. Yeah, I mean, I think these are really just pilot projects, but the whole agenda is to go towards crypto. So for people, again, it's back to adoption. People are used to the yuan or USD, and for them it is much more easy to go to a digital USD than go to XRP, right? They know the name, and it's just you add another name, another preface digital, and there you go. But it's the same thing, and from there it's much easier. It's just like technology. So first we had the line phone, right? You pick up the phone, you dial it, the old school, and then you adopt to the next one. You have that and the old Nokia phones that were big and chunky, and then you go towards the smartphone. And it's just adoption. So if if you were to show me 10 years ago this phone, I wouldn't believe you. It's just too big of a jump. So you have to give people something in between so that they can go to the next level.
That's an interesting perspective. Thanks for sharing that, and that makes sense. Yeah, fair enough. It's like if they were using the Canadian dollar before, now they can use the new digital Canadian dollar. And but what you're saying, or what I seem to be understanding, is that at the international level, XRP could be used between the different banks. But I mean, there's nothing preventing any of us from using XRP. And in fact, I recently told somebody, just send me some XRP as a form of payment. Somebody owed me some money. I said, yeah, just send me XRP. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
no problem. And so either one, all of us can choose to transact that way, increasingly. And obviously, for in case anybody watching doesn't know this, you have the ability through an exchange to convert your whatever digital currency to the fiat currency of your choice. So in my case, would be like the Canadian dollar. So what else? I know you don't want to get into too much detail about other projects, but what else are you excited about in the space, Barnabas? I mean, the crypto world is still, to many people, is still new, and I know you talked about some of the use cases. Is there something else that really has you excited?
Well, it's really exciting that I can be my own bank, whereas like trusting a bank to keep my money. So I for instance, I don't believe in banking too much, because once you give your money into the bank, it's not safe, it's not yours. So if you look into how money is created and what money is, you look into the fractional reserve and how the American and the global banking system have been created, and how they create money from the thin air. You understand that when you put your money in the bank, it's not yours, it's theirs.
Wow.
And anytime they can freeze your account, right? You don't have
Yeah.
access to it. And this has happened time and time again. We have
Yeah,
seen
to me
this
too.
we have seen it in Greece, for instance, when they had the crisis. People were lining up at the ATM machines, and some of them couldn't get hold of their money. And banks can go bankrupt. So
Yeah.
your money is not safe in banks. I don't keep my money in banks, and
Wow.
so that's why I'm very excited about cryptos, because I can have my own personal wallet where I store the value of what I earned, or what I worked for, and no one can access it. Only I have the keys to it, and it's mine. So I think that gives power to the user, and it gives you more freedom. Like, you don't have to worry about how I'm going to lose my money or whatever. People think that crypto is more risky, but in fact, to me, it's much more safe and secure.
Wow, I love that perspective, and I'm increasingly finding myself agreeing with you. And I think one of our previous guests, Daniel, said that people have never really, up until this point in history, we've not ever been trusted with our own money beyond like small amounts of cash here and there, or the cash economy that people might have had. But even that, how much money can you store under your mattress? But like literally now on a digital wallet, somebody could store massive amounts of money, and you're the one that holds the keys to that. I
Exactly.
mean, we've explained, well, in previous calls, we've explained what a crypto wallet is and how the money is actually stored in the wallet, but the wallet is almost like your door, your key to access your digital
Hmm.
currencies. Um, so I like that answer. Thank you, Gardner. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Well, even if what else? What else would you say? So I mean, beyond the fact that you're excited about the different use cases of the cryptos, um, I know you're also passionate about helping other people get started with this. And I think part of it is this whole concept of sovereign finance, and the fact that people can now, take back the control over currency, over their own money.
Yeah.
Um, and really you're responsible for your wallet, and again, there's a responsibility that comes with that. So for example, this whole concept of the keys to your wallet. If you lose your keys, you could potentially lose access to your money. So you can't go into a bank and say, hey, I can't access my account, give me back, so there's more personal responsibility that comes with this new system, but also power in a way, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's similar to health, for instance. I don't know how much you talk about that, but for me, it's an important topic. And you know, when I take charge of my body and I know how it works, not trusting some other outside sources like the medical establishment, then I'm kind of becoming an adult from being a child. And I think this is same with money. So we trusted the banks that they are going to keep care of our money, but in fact they mistreated us and lied to us, and you know, they gone bankrupt, and all sorts of things have been gone behind the scenes. So with the crypto, we can take that back and actually become adults, and yeah, be responsible for our own keys. And yeah, we wouldn't go to a bank manager to get access to our keys, but we have to make sure that we have good safe copies, multiple copies of those encryption keys stored in a safe environment. And in that way we make sure that you know, we are responsible for our own things. I think it's just part of growing up.
Yeah.
So I like the responsibility, actually. Yeah, for some people it can be scary, but you know how scary it is that you would lose your money just because there will be a financial crisis. And you know, if you look at the dollar, and just talking about America, um, they have so much debt that it's just crazy to even look at. I don't even know how to pronounce that number that they are looking at now. And there is no way that the US dollar is not going to collapse. It's built into the system. It's made out of thin air, and money is really debt. So
Yeah, exactly what Ariana was saying. So somebody watching just said, I first learned about this when I watched the documentary Zeitgeist. I don't know how to pronounce it. Okay, on how banks
Zeitgeist,
work,
yeah.
create money out of thin air, and create more and more debt. Actually,
Exactly.
exactly what you're saying. So whereas this debt-based economy, it's literally a debt bubble. And then, the concern I have, the stock market is being funded by that. So what's going to happen to all the money that's currently funding all these companies? Like it's a very scary situation if you look at it. So myself, you, and others that you and I both know, we're increasingly choosing to not participate in that system and literally put our money elsewhere. And I actually, just like you, I've come to believe that, I'm better off putting my money in cryptos because they are an alternative to this bubble system, but again, not every crypto is like I said, there are over 6,000 cryptos out there. Some are better than others. And I know you're somebody that, has done research and continues to do research on this, Barnabas, on a daily basis. And you've actually come to help people with, getting started, basically onboarding people. And we'll talk more about that in a little bit, but I'm just wondering, like, before we close it up, what, I guess, what advice would you have for people that have, as of yet, not taken a step, getting started with cryptos? What advice would you have for them,
Okay, so I like to say to people that your money in the bank is already digital. Yeah, you can access it usually through the internet. You have internet banking, and it's digits. It's not real. If you want to take it, if you want to withdraw it, you have to go through loops to withdraw all your money, right? Because you're usually limited for an ATM transaction per day. You can't withdraw all your money. If you want to withdraw all your money, you have to make a bank appointment at the bank manager. They may not even have that money. They have to, make it happen that you would have all the money, depending on how much money you want to withdraw. So crypto is not that different. It's basically you are already using crypto in a way because it's digital. You just don't think of it as digital because you can withdraw cash, but in fact it is. Now, that's one side of the story. Um, the other side of the story is, the risk. There's no risk in crypto when Congress is already talking about how they are going to use crypto. Okay, it's already, they are already talking about it, and in fact, already financial institutions use crypto, and other projects are being used by other companies, not just finance related crypto. So in my mind, there is no risk in going into this, because that is not just the future; it's already the present. See what I mean? So big companies are already using it day to day, and so it's already presently used. It's just you don't know it. People don't know about it, but behind the scenes, it's being used for lots of use cases.
Okay, now there is some amount of volatility in the crypto world, no doubt about it. And I think, well, I don't know if, how the volatility of altcoins, for example, compares to volatility of something like Bitcoin. What would you, okay.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. So the volatility question. Well,
and how do you
kind
address
of
that? Yeah, how do you address that? Yeah.
Okay, every kind of investment has volatility, but it depends how quickly it goes up and down.
Unless it's a GIC at the bank where you're getting, less than 2% on your money. One of those guaranteed investment certificates, as they're called.
So even like if you think of the US dollars, if you live in the US, you will see a price difference in day-to-day life. Prices go up and down. You're using the same USD, but the value of it is not always the same. Especially when you go from country to country. So you're traveling, you're going to exchange to another currency, and the exchange rate is always changing. So the volatility is in fiat as well, just as in crypto. It's just one thing that usually skeptics bring up against crypto, but it's nothing new. The fiat currencies have the same volatility. It's just
Really?
it's just something that you don't see. It's behind the scenes. But like several times I made exchanges and I waited. I've seen the chart going up from pounds to Mexican pesos, my salary, and I just waited one more day and I got so much more pesos for my pounds just because I waited one more day. So it's behind the scenes and people don't know about it, but it's very volatile.
Yeah, Edward here is saying, I'm getting 98% staking cake. No bank can give me that. I'm not sure what he's talking about. Like staking is a concept that's a little bit new to me. I don't know if you wanna. Do you think you understand his comment, Barnabas?
Yeah. Well, I don't know how would you get 98% staking. You can get like very high, like maybe 14%. I've heard of and I've done that. Staking is basically, if you think of your money in a savings account and you fix it there, let's say for a number of months, and then you get the return, right? You get, I don't know, 2 or 3% in a bank. That's kind of staking. It's doing the same thing.
Okay.
So when you do staking, then your crypto is basically locked for a certain amount of days or weeks, depending on the crypto, and then they are using that crypto for some other purposes. Yeah, within the ecosystem of that blockchain. So that's why you get some return for it, because at that point your crypto is not yours. See what I mean?
Got it.
Yeah,
it's almost like you're parking your crypto. And he mentioned Trust Wallet is the platform he's been using. I don't know if you're familiar with that.
Yes.
Yeah. He says his crypto is not locked. Yeah, my understanding has been that with the staking platforms, you do have to essentially kind of park your cryptos there for a certain amount of time. And perhaps Edward can be a future guest and tell us how he can stake his cryptos and at the same time not have to lock them. That's awesome. That's interesting. But I mean, there are these possibilities as well where upon buying your cryptos, you have the option of then earning an interest rate on them
Yeah, exactly.
beyond
And
whatever upswing in the value of the actual crypto may be, you know?
exactly. Now, what most people don't know is that your money is not only being used when it is in the saving account. They are using your money even if it is not in your saving account. It's a known thing in banking. They use it
That's
for that, for other people's
that's
debts. So
that's
so yeah, it's but you don't get any return on it. The only
that's right.
thing you receive is inflation.
That's how I guess that's how the banking system works. They're allowed to lend, well, if I'm not mistaken, up to 9 times whatever they have in reserve. So whatever they have in accounts, they can, creating
Exactly.
money out of thin air, lend up to 9 times that amount.
Yeah, that's the fractional reserve.
Now, does that work the same way for, something like one of these crypto staking sites? I don't know, maybe that might be too much of a question because I don't know if you're familiar with how those work.
So no. So basically, you have the simple keep it in the bank, and then you have the saving. That's the two different one. Now, if you keep your crypto simply in your wallet, then they are not using it for making loans. Okay, unless potentially if you use it on if you keep your crypto on an exchange, which I don't recommend because it's basically like a bank. But if you have your own wallet in a cold storage, then it's yours. So it's totally different from a bank using your money without you knowing it. And to me, it's much more safe because no one else is using it. Whereas my money in the bank is being used, even if I don't sign, like
Consent to that.
yeah. I mean, probably there's in the small, in the small caps, letters in what you sign initially. You probably signed that, but no one is reading it.
Right. No, my question was about these services that offer where you can park your cryptos and then they will pay you an interest rate. I was wondering, in that case, but they don't specialize in lending, right?
No.
I guess
No,
that's a
they
good question.
basically, yeah, it's kind of like using it for its own blockchain so that it can work. Sometimes it's kind of like it uses the technology for certain decision making. If people want to buy crypto, or transact any kind of transaction, then you have to have a proof of work, and then you have to sign the contract and stuff like that. So for your crypto, it can be used for that purpose, but it's not being loaned out. It's different.
Interesting. I don't know if I'm not sure I fully understood what you just said there. But bottom line, it's not being loaned out. Now, I think there are services where you can lend your cryptos, but
Yes, that's a difference.
That's a different type of story. And I mean, that's where you get into more, I guess, higher risk type operations, and like you really need to know what you're doing. Because there's a level of risk. Like every time you employ leverage, even with traditional investing, we always know, like if you investment loans, there's some risk that comes with that. Now, Barnabas, because I also want to tell people, I know one of the things you're passionate about is empowering other people to get started in the crypto world, because we want to move people to the light side, or rather away from these what should we call them, almost decrepit financial system that we've been operating under, fastly collapsing financial system, into this new era of empowered finance, where we can
you can control your finances.
Exactly. So tell us a little bit about how you work with people, if you don't mind. And because, like I said, I recently ran a Get Started with Crypto webinar. It was we've had a number of people on the live call. I'm not sure when I'll be able to do another one. Our friend Daniel was helping me co-host, and he's a very busy guy. So I can promise I'm going to be doing another one very soon. That being said, I know we couldn't cover everybody on that call. There are still many people that want to get started, and they need some support with that. So can you tell us a little bit about how you work with people and how you may be able to help them with that?
Yeah, sure. So I'm not a financial advisor. Again, I have to say that I'm basically technical support. So if you are interested in getting into crypto, I can jump on a consultation call with you for an hour, and usually that would be $100. But for your viewers, I give you 50% discount, so it
Yay,
would
thank you
be
for that.
$50.
I
And
appreciate that.
that's, yes, it's for the first hour. Just to make sure that you really want to do this, just talk through what are the pros and cons, and maybe you don't want to go into this. So it's just to make sure that if this is the right fit for you, and then later on I can help you set up technically what you need, because it's a technical thing. So it's not like going into the bank. You can go into the bank without technical knowledge, yeah, but with this you need some technical knowledge, and I have tried and tested all sorts of different methods, and I think I found the ones that are really safe and secure and the best way to do it. So I can help you with that, and I take a little commission for a transaction, and that's how it works.
Wonderful. So just to sum up, there are no ongoing, meaning, there's only that one-time initial financial investment to even have the consultation for them to
Yes,
decide whether or not, hey man, do I even want to do this? Do I trust this guy?
exactly.
And you can tell them, hey, listen, this is what I can help you with. This is what I've helped others with. And then should they decide to move forward, it is on a small percentage
Commission
basis.
is
So, oh, exactly. So it's not, you
not an
know,
ongoing fee. No,
you're not going to have ongoing hourly fees or
no,
or a
nothing like
huge
that.
coaching package that you're offering.
No, no,
That's not
no.
what you offer. You're literally hand holding them through the process of getting started,
Exactly.
and putting some amount of money into crypto, whatever amount they feel comfortable starting with.
Yes.
And the beautiful thing about this is, like, guys, you know what, a lot of people get intimidated, especially when they look at the price of Bitcoin. They're like, oh my God. First of all, we've already made that clear that you prefer to play in the altcoin space and play and invest in the altcoin space. So where the starting point is generally significantly lower. But the beautiful thing about crypto is that you could get started with owning, a tenth of a crypto. Like, you do not have to buy a whole coin. You could get started with literally a fraction of a coin. And in the case of some of these altcoins, the price point is oftentimes, below $1. So really, there's almost no barrier to entry. The barrier to entry in the space, I think, is exactly what Barnabas is talking about, is that the lack of technical knowledge that people have to even get started. And it's intimidating. They don't know where to start. Which exchange do I use? Which wallet should I get? And that's something Daniel and I covered on that call. But again, I'm grateful that you're available to do this on an ongoing basis with anybody who is open to get started, and they're tired of waiting. They want to get started. They need that hand holding. You're open and happy to help them with that. Right,
Yeah,
Barnabas?
I mean, when I got started, I would have been happy for someone like me, because I had to go through all that learning curve, and I made lots of research into this because I was interested. I wanted to put my money into the right place and keep it safe and secure. So what people would get is basically my knowledge, my research findings, and I can share all that. And what I'm investing in. So you can copy the same thing, but ultimately you make the decision what you put your money in.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Wonderful. I really appreciate, your willingness to help, Barnabas, and I know from my experience, I mean, and from my conversations with Daniel, the crypto adoption rate, I mean, something like less than a percentage of the world population even has a crypto wallet, whether or not they even have any currency on it. So when people think, oh man, I'm late to the space, which is what I used to think, about a year ago when I first got started, like, not even a year ago, less than that, but I was like, oh, I'm late to the game. Well, you know what? Actually, no, we're still very early. So don't think that you missed the boat, because Bitcoin is at the price point that it's at. And whether or not you choose to invest in Bitcoin, there are many other coins out there that you can participate in, and where the price point and the starting price is significantly lower, and where the upside potential could be, as you said, as high as 100x, and you've seen
Yeah.
these numbers yourself.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. That Bitcoin is a good example. So yeah, I mean, you missed the boat on Bitcoin, I would say. because yeah,
some may debate, but that's, you know, that's everyone is entitled to their views, you know.
Yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put my money in Bitcoin because yeah, it's like a done deal. But other projects have such a low price, so when you buy it and it can potentially go to those numbers that Bitcoin went to, then yeah. So you are early to the game in altcoins. Basically.
Okay, Barnabas, one thing I would not want to forget is what's the best email address to reach you at? Where can people get a hold of you?
The best if you go to my website, you can put the link in the video description. It's barnabasnagi.com, and then I have a link to message me. Yeah.
Okay, guys, he has a unique name. You won't miss him. Okay.
Yes, that's it.
That's it. Wonderful. So Barnabas, thank you so much for joining us today, and thanks for everyone who joined us on the live call, and for everybody that may be watching this after the fact. If you happen to watch this on YouTube, I would be grateful if you could give this video a like and consider subscribing to my channel. I could definitely use more subscribers. Ha 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 ha. And Barnabas, you're awesome. I'm so grateful that we could connect here in Playa, and I look forward to staying in touch. And in fact, even on a professional level, I look forward to staying in touch and see how we can support each other. Okay.
Okay. Cool. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. Thanks everybody. Have a great rest of the week, and I look forward to seeing you on future editions of Money Matters. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Bye everybody. Blessings. Bye bye.